Welcome. My name is Dr. Marty Martin, and I teach at DePaul University in Chicago in the Health Sector Management MBA program. You may be a first-time viewer or have been watching several videos in this whole category that's called quantitative decision-making tools. The one that we're going to focus on right now is actually called the decision matrix. So let's begin to kind of jump into that. The decision matrix really focuses on helping you to make better decisions. Because in actuality, you can't really control the outcome of your decision, but you can control the process by which you make decisions. So that's really our goal, is to improve that process. So this actually is an illustration of a decision matrix. So you can do this on Excel, you can do it by hand, you can do it in Word. There's also specialized software that you can use. That's your decision. But let's see how it works. So what you would do is, if you note on the top there, you have different factors. So these are decision-making criteria. So these criteria could be developed individually, or they could be developed in a group. So for illustration purposes, we have cost, we have complexity, we have development time, then you sum them up. And what we're doing is we're trying to evaluate 6 different ideas against these 3 decision-making criteria. So if you note, if we look down here, so idea number 1 has 6, idea number 2 has 4, idea number 3 has 10, and then 9 and 8, and then 11. So if you were to use just kind of an eyeball, you would say, you know what, we're going to go with idea number 6. Because according to this decision-making criteria, from purely a quantitative point of view, you would choose 11. But we make decisions based upon numbers, and we make decisions based upon gut and heart and feel. So number 3 and number 6 only differ by 1. So although the numbers may tell you 11, you may actually pick 10 because there may be some intangible that really can't be quantified. So what I'm suggesting to you is use both qualitative factors and quantitative factors to arrive at the best decision, being attentive to the process of decision making. Now this is a little bit more complex, so let's take a look at this. So we have our decision-making criteria, which you would set by yourself, but I wouldn't suggest that, within a group setting. So there are a number that are here. This one's a little bit different from the first illustration because I have a weighting. So all criteria are not weighted equally, which means all criteria are not equally important. So which one has the highest? Linked to strategy, followed by financial gain, and the rest are sitting at 10%. Yep. So then what you do is you assign points based upon evaluating the particular project. So we have project A, we have project B. Yep. Then what you do is you multiply the points that you've assigned to that weighting. So if you note, so if you have 0.45, that 45%, times 7 gives you 3.15. Or if you take project B in green, you have 1, yep, times that 0.45, you get 0.45. Then you drop down to the bottom where it says total. So again, from a purely numerical point of view, the one in yellow is 6.3, the one in green is 5.95. So you would select 6.3 if you only consider the quantitative factors. But in real life, you consider the quantitative and you consider the what? Qualitative. So this is another example. So which year is the most productive? So if you note, we have year number 1, year number 2, and year number 3. And then we have the measurements or criteria. So they're listed there. And if we look at our eyes take us to year number 2, sitting at 64.36. So a decision-making matrix is pretty straightforward in how it works. Where it becomes a little bit challenging is deciding on what will be the criteria and then what will be the weights and to what degree will we actually make the decision based upon the matrix. So I encourage you not to make the decision purely based upon the matrix because you're ignoring some useful data, qualitative data. So now we're going to begin to take a look at yet another tool, which is flow charting.